Hey, so wrapped up the install on your TXQ Sabers Leia in the pink or rose gold finish. So this is one of the last pink Leias that they have available. It's kind of out of stock now. So with this Leia, we have our main switch over here, as well as two auxiliary switches, one over there, 90 degrees from the main switch, as well as another one over here. Got a custom blade plug designed for this hilt, as well as an illuminated NeoPixel connector. It's got a D-ring down here. It's also got mother of pearl inlay over there. So with this hilt, it doesn't come apart from the body section, it comes apart from the pommel. So to access the chassis, just unscrew the pommel. I've also added a spacer over there to extend the resonance chamber. That way you have a little bit better sound quality from the hilt. So to remove the chassis from the hilt, it's a removable chassis. So just shake the hilt a little bit so I can slide the chassis out. So here you have your crystal chamber chassis with the glitter, I think I'm gonna call it bronze filament. We got a gold chassis connector there. We've got your white Proffie board there. Got your crystal chamber. You got your battery, accent LED strips on the sides, one there, and your 28mm bass speaker. So to access the battery, currently the battery is inserted. To remove it, I like to kind of dig my fingernails to the positive side. Just carefully yank it out like that. So with the battery holder, it's marked negative there, and then positive there. Spring side for the negative side of the battery, and the button top side for the positive button top side of the battery. I've also designed my chassis so that there's a little ledge there to hold the battery in a little bit tighter. And then to insert the battery, make sure you insert the negative side first, slide it in, compress it, and then just slide it into the positive end. There's also a kill switch here that cuts power to the Proffie. So currently, toggle to the left, it's off, and then if you toggle to the right, it's on. So right now for the blade styling, the two accent LED strips is just a battery indicator. And then we have our crystal chamber here, which mimics the color of the main blade. Right now it's a slow pulsing effect when the saber is off. And then when the saber is on, or the blade is on, kind of mimics the effects of the main blade. We also have mini tactile switches here, which are a little bit hard to reach, but basically this allows you to play around with some of the options of the saber without needing the chassis in the hilt. So to the left of the board, or I guess clockwise from the board, is your main button there. And then counterclockwise is your auxiliary. Also configure twist off and swing on. So let's insert the chassis into the hilt itself. So when inserting the chassis, make sure you have the PCB side in first. Just slide it in until it gets about here. And then to fully lock the chassis in place, just screw the pommel in. So once the chassis is engaged, these buttons will now work, as well as a NeoPixel connector. So let's turn on the saber. So for the main button, I've added a pixel accent underneath. That way you have shine through on the main button. You've got your auxiliary switches on the sides here, as well as here. I've also made it so that the shine through switch kind of mimics the main blade as well. You've got your shine through in the emitter over there. And then you have your blade retention screws here. There's 3 of them placed equidistant apart. I only put in 2 of them because 2 of them that are perpendicular to each other actually help a lot more than having one opposite as well. So to insert the blade, you want to first remove the blade plug. So since I've tightened in 2 of these retention screws, there's one there that I've tightened, as well as one there. Let's just remove those first. So these are M4 retention screws, so I use a, let's see, a 2mm Allen wrench. So removing the blade plug there. Got my illuminated Neopix connector in there, which is kind of bright, so you can't really see. So that's my Neopix connector with the white solder mask. So let's insert a blade into here. Got a demo blade. Got a short little demo blade. And I've also configured blade detection on the Neopix connector. So when it makes contact with the blade, it plays a sound. And then when it disconnects, it plays another sound. So there's the blade insertion sound and the blade removal sound. So let's just tighten those retention screws in. So now that we got our blade in, we got smooth swings, accent swings. Currently it's the free Battlefield or Battlefront font from Kyberphonic. Got blaster block, flash on flash. Twist off. I've also loaded the Kyber's Workshop free fonts on here as well. So this one's a blue font. Set it as indigo.
White.
White.
Red.
Red. And then again, to access the chassis, just unscrew the pommel. And then carefully, oops. So yeah. With the blade connected, the sound you heard was the, I guess, blade disconnection sound. It's when the chassis disconnected from the rest of the saber as well as the blade, which is why I made that sound. So you can also cycle through the sound fonts or the presets just on the chassis itself. And the crystal will mimic the color of the main blade. And inserting it back in. So there you go. Your TXQ Leia finally installed with a crystal chamber chassis and probably one of the last, maybe, pink Leias out there unless they do another run. Thank you so much for letting me work on this. It's been an absolute pleasure to kind of experiment on this. And I'm kind of looking forward to making my own, or reinstalling my own Leia with a brass crystal chamber. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm gonna send over this kind of like sample config to you, as well as load it on an SD card. That way you can kind of get familiar with how the blade styles are set up, because there are, I think, 5 kind of blade styles in there for the 2 accent strips, the crystal chamber, the button, as well as the main blade. So once again, thank you so much for letting me work on this, and may the force be with you.